Hi TCA, this is Mindy Wheat. I'm the reading specialist here at the Classical Academy. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about fluency. Fluency is the bridge between decoding and phonics and comprehension. Both decoding and comprehension are key components of reading, and they're essential things to be teaching and talking about with our students, but fluency is super, super important. Fluency is what helps students take reading that is choppy, reading that is just really focused on word for word or sound by sound, and taking it to the next level to just being able to flow, so that students can then focus a lot more of their attention, their brain, and their time on comprehension, because comprehension is the main reason we read. We're reading to understand what's going on. So if we're spending our whole time and the bulk of our reading saying each word sound by sound, then it's just too hard for a kid to comprehend it. One key caveat I want to say before I move on to just give little tidbits about fluency, I do want you to know that fluent reading is impossible if the book or the passage that a student is reading is too hard. So for example, if I was assigned a book to read right now for like a college level assignment, and it had all kinds of doctor terms, or maybe it was a science book that had just all kinds of things in Latin, like all the different plant names in Latin, and I had to be able to read all of them, because maybe I don't have background knowledge or because I don't have any learning or experience with that, it's just going to be really frustrational for me, and I cannot expect myself to read those words in that kind of a text fluently. I'm going to read it slowly, I'm going to be pointing, and it is going to be a little bit frustrational. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about reading of passages in books that are at the kids' reading level, that they should be able to read on their own without any help. Those ones need to be fluent. Maybe one word here or there might be tricky, but for the most part, the vocabulary is familiar, the phonics level of the words and the word patterns should be pretty familiar. So, with that being said, fluency is one of the 5 key components that the National Reading Panel discovered that is important in effective reading instruction. So they said phonemic awareness instruction, phonics instruction, fluency instruction, vocabulary, and comprehension are all 5 important components. So we can't skip fluency when we teach kids how to read. It's very important. And that means we have to teach it, not just expect for it to happen. You have to actually model it. What is fluency? You keep hearing me say that and you're probably like, what does this teacher mean when she's talking about fluency? I just tell my students it's reading like the way we talk. You should sound like you're talking when you're reading. If you talk really fast, probably you're going to read a little bit faster, or you should read a little bit faster. If you're a little bit slow talker, you're probably going to read a little bit slower. A key definition is also rapid rhythmic flow with which a skilled reader reads. It's reading aloud sounds like speaking. Reading is fluid and accurate. Adequate speed, appropriate phrasing, and correct intonation. And adequate speed to maintain attention and access meaning. There is a super important thing that a lot of fluency activities forget, is that they forget to check kids' comprehension. And it's really easy as, tell me what happened. So don't forget that as you keep working on all these activities that I'm going to attach below this video, that you don't skip comprehension. Just do a real quick check that they're still understanding what they read. Because we don't want robots, and we don't want it to be like the Charlie Brown teachers. Want, 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 want. We don't want words to come in, but no meaning going through their brains. In order to work on fluency, a lot of times it's just a lot of practice, but there are 3 things that if one of them is hurting, you can really work on teaching in that area, and it will really help kids' fluency. One is accurate decoding. A kid has to accurately be able to decode words that are decodable. They need to see the patterns, the phonics within the word, the phonics patterns within the words. So, for example, if it's just the simple letter or vowel patterns, they need to be able to recognize that. or all the way as far as Greek and Latin roots, prefixes, suffixes. Students need to be able to read those. Syllable types, they need to be able to see and understand that. Another important skill for fluent reading is instant word recognition. I tell students this is kind of like reading your name. You don't think about it anymore. You don't have to sound it out. You don't have to think about what letter comes first. What is that my name? I see the first letter is the same, but I don't know. No, when they see their name, they know what it says. That's what instant word recognition means. Also, the third and very important one is also prosody. Reading is not supposed to sound like a robot. You're not supposed to just say each word. There's like a rhythm, there's a pace to it. It's supposed to sound kind of like you're talking to a friend. You get faster, you get slower, your voice changes depending on different punctuation marks. So this is where you teach a lot of students about how to read punctuation. Because reading isn't just the words, it's also the punctuation. That just about does it. So make sure you look at all the activities that I'm going to attach to this video or send along with this video so that you can have some practice with fluency. Be sure that your students work on these activities, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks.